All right, questions for Coach David.
Okay.
Hubert, how did you spend the day since the game, and what kind of were your takeaways from film since SMU?
Yeah. Just obviously, disappointed defensively. As I said, going into the SMU game, field goal percentage-wise, points allowed, we were 1 in the ACC, and allowing a team to shoot 70% in the half, 60 for the game. Obviously it wasn't good, and it was just a number of things. I mean, it was a transition, one-on-one, not boxing out. At times, not talking and communicating the right way. Discipline, shot fake, stay down, putting guys at the free throw line. And so I was really excited about this week, not having a midweek game, to actually have practice on us as opposed to preparing for Wake Forest until the latter part of the week. And so I felt like it was a perfect time not to have a midweek game, to be able to get to practice and start doing fundamentally just the things that have allowed us all year to be a pretty good defensive team.
Did you sense guys being receptive to that message?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, these kids are great, and we're all on the same page. We knew. I mean, I've been clear, for us to be successful, number 1 is defense, number 2 is rebounding, and number 3 is taking care of the basketball. Now, we've been doing a really good job of taking care of the basketball, but the defense and rebounding is something that, it's just 1 and 2 on the list, or 1A, 1B.
Especially when it comes to defending the perimeter and the drives, how much does Wake Forest, with the way they play, sort of challenge what you guys worked on this week?
It does. I mean, they've got great ball and player movement, athleticism, size, skilled players that are really good at coming off different types of actions, whether it's ball screens, DHOs, wide pins, flares, being able to get into the lane. Once they penetrate, get into the lane, a lot of movement off the ball where it takes a lot of communication. And so, Coach Forbes is a fantastic coach, and offensively, we've got to be locked in tomorrow.
The 2 games you guys played, Wake Forest last year, Juke Harris wasn't much of a factor. This year he's kind of had quite the breakout season for Even Negans. What have you seen from him on film? How do you kind of limit him offensively?
Yeah, I mean, he's, obviously really talented. He's got good size. I think he's a 4-level scorer. He can shoot from 3 mid-range. He can get to the bucket, get fouled, get to the free throw lines. Good offensive rebounder, very aggressive. And in regards to those sets that you talk about, they, move him around. And, whether it's ball screen, isolations, flares, wide pins, that something is always coming for him. And so he's been in a nice rhythm offensively. And so that's our job to not just for him, for Wake Forest, from an offensive standpoint, not to feel like they're in any rhythm against us tomorrow.
The second half in Dallas on Saturday, you guys tinker with the lineup a little bit, moving Seth, more on the ball and Jaren out to the wing. Are you guys can we expect any changes tomorrow in the lineup? Maybe see more of that, or?
Again, and for guys with the quote unquote ball in their hands, I like multiple playmakers out there on the floor. This is our point guard. I want a number of guys that can handle the ball, make plays, shoot, score, penetrate, distribute, get us into our offense. And so we have a number of guys that have the ability to do that, which includes, Caleb and Henry, that have the skill and ability to be able to do that. And so that's something that we'll continue to do tomorrow.
It seemed like one of the silver linings from the SMU game was that Jaren found a shot a little bit, scored 16 points. Could you sense a difference in him this week, just more confidence coming off that performance?
No, I mean, he's always confident, and I've been, I've talked about how pleased I am with Jaren, because, he's just a great kid to coach, unbelievable in the locker room, and awesome teammate, and his versatility. He does so many things for us, like against SMU, making those type of shots. But he does so much stuff that are not on the stat sheet. I mean, he's like our connector on both ends of the floor. And it was nice to see him get into a rhythm from the perimeter. And I think he's a really good, three-point shooter. And for us, I'm really looking forward to when us as a team consistently, especially with the attention that Henry and Caleb get, that we can be more consistent from shooting from three.
You were bigger picture here. You were a player here, an assistant coach here, the head coach here. As this building is on the brink of experiencing the 500 win mark, how much of this place is a part of who you are?
Well, how much? Completely. I mean, when I look at the Smith Center, it's not just about the experiences as a player, as a coach. This is home plate for me of, I think I've told you guys this before. I mean, the most significant things that have happened in my life has been because of this place. So it's not just basketball. This is, where I fell in love with my wife. We got married, where I became a Christian, where we bought our first house. After I retired from the NBA, we decided to raise our kids here. And so the Smith Center is home plate for all of that. And so when I come into this building, I think about a number of different experiences on the court as a player, as a coach, but I can also automatically, every day that I come into work, I can remember every conversation that I had with Coach Smith, Coach Guthers, and Coach Williams in every room in this place. And so I think my comments are pretty much consistent with any former player, and so that's just the way I feel about this place.
Hubert, I'm not asking if he's going to be in the rotation or anything like that, but I'm just kind of curious about Isaiah Dennis, where he is in his process. I know he's banged up a little bit in the fall. What have you seen from him, and where is he coming along as far as maybe what your thoughts and plans were initially for him?
Yeah, I mean, Isaiah obviously was injured for half of the year, latter part of his high school senior season, and then re-injured his finger in the summer, and really didn't get cleared fully until the year started. And so he's done just a really nice job of, I don't want to say catch up, but just getting all the concepts on both ends of the floor. He's a versatile player where he can play a number of different positions. Defensively, he's got, good size and quickness, and I feel like every day in practice, he's getting more and more comfortable at where he was in terms of confidence in his game prior to when he got injured before his senior year of high school.
Going back on Noah's question, there's obviously been a lot of discussion and discourse about the future of this place, and just wondering, have you been kept in the know and involved in the conversations for what maybe down the line with the Smith Center?
I've had conversations with it, but one of the things that I always say to you guys, say to the team, is keep your eyes straight ahead and focus on the things that are real. And the things that are real are those 16 guys in this locker room this season, and coaching this team and trying to see how good this year's team can become.
Hubert, going back to the film sessions this week, what were some of those light bulb moments with your guys, and what is the feedback like? Is it give and take? Is it just your voice? What is it like in there with them?
You said laughable moments?
No.
Oh, okay.
Light bulb.
Light bulb?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No
I was laughable.
laughable.
No, it wasn't laughable. No, it wasn't.
This one is.
I wasn't laughing on Monday. No, I mean, I think I've said this to you guys, like, this group, this generation needs to see it. And so just being able to see where we've been good, we've got to get better, was huge for us on Monday. And we basically watched the entire game and just talked about, what allowed us to do some of the things that we did, and how we can't, get there again. And so I love watching film. I'm a visual learner. I mean, somebody can tell me something, I definitely can remember it, but if I see it, I remember it for the rest of my life. And so watching film is really huge for me. And it was really great also to be able to have individual meetings with each one of the players as well after the film session, to just kind of one-on-one, just talk about things and get their perspective. During the film, I didn't really want their perspective. It was mine. And so it was nice to have those meetings, those follow-up meetings, just to be able to continue to have that communication.
Hubert, if you could arrange it on a Venn diagram of the problems from the loss of Michigan State and the problems from the loss of SMU, what were some of the ones that were in common from the
defense? I don't know what Michigan State shot from the field, 50 plus. I mean, it's it was defense. It really was. I just, there are going to be times where you make shots and miss shots. I mean, I didn't think we executed very well. I didn't think, I felt like from an offensive standpoint against SMU, things were difficult and hard, and we still scored 83 points. It just goes back to, defending and rebounding, and that's something that just has to show up, whether it's at home, road, neutral site, and give SMU credit. They're a fantastic basketball team, and they were deserving of last week, but from a defensive standpoint, we just got to continue to grow and get better.
Hubert, something else that was common in both games, and I asked you about it Monday on the conference call, was Caleb went long stretches without scoring. And I asked you about getting him more touches. You said everybody's got to get touches. Is there a way when you've got a guy with his talent, and maybe you can run some special stuff for him just to get him going, to get him a look when he's going through a period where he's not?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want the ball in his hands, and for as much as possible. Again, defenses every game in regards to the attention that he's getting, it's been a lot, and rightfully so. And so we definitely want the ball in his hands, and we can't go long stretches without him touching it or the ball going through him. Even if he doesn't score, the attention that he draws, it opens up opportunities for his teammates, and that's something that we have to continue to improve and grow from.
Follow up on that very quickly. Did they give him a lot more body before he got touches?
They did.
Maybe he'd
No, they were physical with him and Henry, and I mean, honestly, that's probably the scouting report against us, is to be extremely physical with us. If you want to talk about a common denominator, Michigan State was very physical with us as well. And so not just when they get the ball, it's just off-ball actions, cutting through the lane. I remember one play we ran for Henry in the first half to get him on the block, and he was crossing through the lane and got chucked like twice. And, those are things that teams are doing, one, to try to keep the ball out of the hands of Caleb and Henry, but also make them catch the ball a little bit further out and wear them down throughout the game. And so those are things that we're learning and adjusting and growing on.
Looking a little bit ahead, you've got your first trip to California to play Stanford and Cal. What are the challenges of a trip like that? And have you had any conversations with Courtney Banghart after her team went 2-0 last year doing that trip?
No, I mean, we travel so much. I mean, we're all over the place. And so, traveling over to the West Coast is something that, these guys are already accustomed to when they're in high school, whether it's AAU and playing all over the country. And for us, I mean, we had an exhibition game in Utah. And then, we hadn't traveled as much this year as opposed to last year going out to Hawaii and Maui. But, our guys are accustomed to that, and they understand the challenge of being on the road, whether it's in California or going to SMU and going to Texas. And so we'll be prepared. But the thing on our mind now is to see if we can play a really good game against a good Wake Forest team.
Time for a couple more.
Hubert, back to Caleb and Henry. How are you seeing them respond to those different schemes and physicality on the court, when they're trying to get in the lane and score, but also feeling a little bit of frustration not able to get to it?
Yeah, I mean, it's an adjustment for them, and it's something that consistently we work on in practice. The opposing team tries to play the part of the opposing team, in regards to how physical teams have been against us, and particularly Henry and Caleb. And it's something that, as I said before, even if it's not an opportunity for them to score, but to get 2 on the ball so that we can create a really good look or a shot for a teammate. The cool thing about Henry and Caleb, they're so unselfish. I mean, it's nowhere anything about them. It's always been about this team and this program, and they're good passers, they're willing passers. Their ability to get the ball out of a double team in tight situations is real, and so they're getting better and better with that every day.
Anybody else? All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks, you.